Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yesterday we have seen the position of the value and importance of scriptures in our life so that we can make best use of our life. It is something like this. I have, suppose, some electronic machine. I have got 2-3 of them. Now, in these machines, there are many possibilities that can be invoked. Now, which are all those possibilities? Who will tell me? Shall I go to Panditji? Like, many people, when they buy a car, they go to the temple. And then the Panditji comes and puts Chandan, Mala, and Bhadrang Karane Vi Sunuyama Deva. Even the human beings don't see Bhadram Karane Vi Sunuyama Deva. The car will see or what? So, if I want to know the correct usage of these machines, what is the authority? Authority is the technical bulletin manual supplied along with this machine. And who produces that manual or the machine technical details? The manufacturer. And if I study it well, I will know that I can really do a lot of job. If this is understood. In the same manner, we are all the hardwares supported by the inbuilt softwares. The hardwares are our gross body and the software is our subtle body, and in that software subtle body, the name of that software is Prarabdha software. Now how do we operate that? So only the scriptures who are given by the Lord, and it is the Lord who created this body and the machine. And therefore it is only the scriptural authority alone which will be talking to us all the details about the working of this machine which we have. See, there was a Sethji in a village, and he heard that these days computer has come. So he told his Munimji, Munimji, go to the market and buy the best compu. I don't want to remain backward. जाकर के एक बढ़िया सा देख के लिया ना कंपू, पैसे की फिक्र मत करना. So that Munim went and bought a PC worth, let us say those days, let us say 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs. And after that machine has come home, now this man is using this machine for what? Only calculating. 2 रुपए 8 आने की सब्जी, 1 rupee 75 paisa dhobi, and total it. See, I told you computer is thing, After spending 6-7 lakhs of rupees, if you are utilizing that machine only for a purpose which can be attained by an ordinary freely gift available calculator, is it not the height of foolishness? If this is clear, in the same manner, eating, sleeping, security and procreation. If these are the only 4 goals before our mind, there is no need to be human beings. Scriptures are meant only for human beings. There are no scriptures for animals. There are no scriptures for plants. There is no satsang for animals. Have you imagined even that all the buffaloes are sitting together? And when Mahishananda, not Mahishananda. So, one Mahishananda is sitting and he is talking. You know, if you do this good thing, you will go to heaven. And all the buffaloes ask, what is there in the heaven? Do we get the wallowing pond like this? Then who is the God? So the Mahishananda will tell, God is like a white buffalo and giving directly coffee. Something superior than the ordinary buffalo. This never happened, never will it happen. Because scriptures, future life, earlier existence, these falls only in the purview of human intellect. And friends, this human intellect becomes an asset if it is properly utilized. It becomes a tremendous liability if it is not properly utilized. Therefore, as much damage the animals and plants have caused to this world is negligible. The real damage is caused to this world is not by them, but by the human beings, because this potent faculty of intellect. And therefore it is necessary for every one of us that we must know the science and art of utilizing this faculty. How do we do this? So, utilization of this intellectual faculty is the purpose of studying scriptures. And what the scriptures tell us and how do we begin? Because we were told at the end of the 16th chapter, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastitau. So what is to be done, what is not to be done, it is to be decided only by the authority of the scriptures. Now the next step comes. But I don't believe in the scriptures. I don't have blind faith. This is one very funny notion in the minds of many funny people. I don't believe in the blind faith. You know, there is one organization called as Andha Shraddha Unmoolan Abhiyan. Friends, Shraddha, faith is necessarily blind. That strength, because of which we can function in the area of ignorance, is called as faith. When you know something, you don't require faith. Isn't it? When you don't know, how will you proceed? You don't know whether your plane is going to land or go and disappear in the sky. Then how do you go? There was a man, I think I told you, from this plane I remember this. Anyway, listen once more, be relaxed, don't be serious in life. So, there was a man who was going by a bus somewhere. And he heard Akashvani. Don't go by this bus. This bus is going to meet with an accident. Now he doesn't know. So when you don't know, there is only one option. You have to have faith. So he had faith in All India Radio, Akashvani. So he didn't get into that bus, and lo, that bus met with an accident. Thank God you protected me at the right time. But anyway, I had to go. So he went to the railway station and wanted to go by train. He got the ticket. And when he was boarding the train, again the same voice. Don't go by this train. He's going to meet with an accident. He got out. And the train met with an accident. How do I go now? He went to the airport. He got the boarding pass. When he was boarding, he said, I'm not going. Because the same message, don't go by this flight. It is going to crash. And it crashed. Then he said, hey, who are you? Constantly protecting me. Where were you when I got married? So that what we do not know, how do we conduct ourselves? Only under the umbrella and the strength of faith. Therefore, faith is always blind. Be very clear. Now it is this faith alone which will keep us going in life. Those who do not have faith, their life is utterly miserable. I don't know whether you have come such people or not. I came across one person somewhere. He had an obsession that everything is contaminated by HIV. Anywhere he will go, suppose he has to drink water, he will take out his bottle and that glass he will wash with that, Aquafina, throw it away. And then again what? And then when he is putting that water here, again, constant suspicion. Bhagavad Gita says, Samshayatma vinashyati. See, our very existence is dependent on the foundation of blind faith. Somebody tells us, this lady is your mom. Have we seen? Oh, I think this is the one I come from. No. That lady whom we have accepted with a blind faith tells, this guy is your dad. Only blind faith. Therefore, now there are two things. Be very, very attentive. Bhagavad Gita is such a deep scientific approach to life. Now there are two things. One thing is the strength of the faith, and second is the strength of the scriptural authority. Now out of these two strengths that are given to us by the Lord, how do we manage so that we negotiate through the turbulence of this world comfortably? Now what are the possibilities? In understanding these two powers the Lord has given us, with this Arjuna started with the first verse. Arjuna uvacha, ye shastra vidhim utsrujya yajante shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtha tuka Krishna sattvamaho rajastamaha. Hey Krishna. Krishna means akarshanat Krishnaha. The one who can attract us is called as Krishna. Karshanat, one who attracts. So Bhagavan, Sri Krishna is asked this question by Arjuna. There are two types of people. Ye shastra vidhim utsrujya. You told us in the last chapter, tasmat shastram pramanante karya karya vyavastito. What is to be done, what is to be not done. It is the authority of the scriptures alone is the determining faculty or the factor. But there are people Shastra vidhi musrujya. They do not follow the scriptural way of life. What are the reasons? There could be many reasons. First reason, I don't know. No? Ignorance is the best excuse. I don't know. Second thing is, I don't believe in scriptures. I believe in myself. See? There was a Mahatma sitting happily and his chela was sitting miserably. So, one man came and said, Sir, unless we put forward efforts, nothing is achieved in life, isn't it? Mahatma said, yes. He went. Another person came. He said, Mahatma ji, we may put forward efforts, but unless there is God's grace, we cannot succeed in life. Mahatma said, yes. He also went. Third person came and he said, Mahatma ji, खुदा मेहरबान तो गधा पहलवान. If God's grace showers, everything is possible, whether you do or you don't do. Mahatma said, yes. He also went. Now the chela became uncomfortable. Chela said, Maharaj, what is this? To everything you are telling yes, yes, yes. What is the truth? The truth is, he said, Maharaj said, did I talk to you? No. Why do you listen? This is the truth. Truth is this. So, Shastra Vidhi Musturujya means what? Scriptures are very important for us in life. Yes. So, our life should be full of injunctions only. Don't we see in our houses? There are some houses where the orthodoxy has reached the limit. And the result of reaching the orthodoxy to the limit is that there is a revolt from the next generation. See? Somebody told me today, Swamiji, such and such people, 3 brothers, not very old, and their mother was also not very old. She must have been hardly 50, and the eldest son is something like 30. And she died because of something. And she was a great devotee of the Lord, doing all puja, poti and every kind of thing. Now she died. Now these 3 sons, they are on revolt. With hell care for the God. So, Shastra Vidhi Musturujya, she has done so much of God. So what happened? She died. So simple. So this is how the second reason why many people are allergic to the scriptural injunction is as a revolt. First, out of ignorance. Second is out of revolt. And the third is, they want to prove themselves to be the most modern. And what is the most modern? If the normal human beings put on half pant or full pant, the most modern will be they will put in the Bermuda. Most modern. If we put on normally half sleeve things inside and the full sleeve things above this, they will put the full sleeve things inside and the half sleeve things outside. Why? Modern. If our parents say that before you take food, pray to the Lord. How do you pray? Say, Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanautam. Hey, I don't care that. Then, oh God, thank you very much. Meaning, whatever is said in our scriptures by our elders, to defy that becomes the fashion. See, these are the 3 reasons why people disrespect the scriptures. I'll tell you one or two examples. How this wrong interaction with the scriptural statement produces such a cartoon breed of generation. Once I was in a temple, I finished my lecture, I was coming down. And one lady used to come regularly, she also came, and we were walking down from the temple. And her son was standing down. Vivekananda pose, without a turban. And the mother introduced, Swamiji, he is my son. And he was, WTC, very tall fellow. So, I said, hey, how are you? Fine, thank you. Then he said, Swamiji, you people tell us. What do I tell? That God is everywhere, isn't it? I said, yes, we tell. Sorry. No, you tell us God is everywhere. Then what is the need to come to the temple? Tell my mom, she doesn't understand. Why is to come all the way over here? So I told him, I said, look here. All mothers are stupids. Otherwise, how such a crop like you will come out? Then I told, look here. Your own statement. God is everywhere, except in the temple. No, not that way. I said, forget about God and temple and all that. I said, tell me, why do you come all the way with your mom to the temple? What can I do? She wants me to come and, naturally, I love my mom. I said, if God is in everyone, why don't you love every woman as a mother? You are catching me. I said, no, I am releasing you of your foolish notions. Not catching you. And then I told him, I said, look here, you come because you love your mother. Now, if your mother is happy, by your going to the temple and bowing before the Lord, are you losing anything? And when you say yourself, if God is everywhere you accept, is He not in the stone also? When you are able to see the divinity even in the stones and rocks, then only you are really grown up. But how will you start? You have to start with a blind faith. Therefore, friends, there are people, ye shastra vidim usrujya. They do not want to respect the tradition, the culture, the scriptural injunctions, the do's and don'ts. And they feel that they can follow their life as a freedom. Whatever they want to do, they will. There was a person in Pune, he told me once. He said, Swamiji, I have celebrated the Shraddha of my father in a most unique manner. I said, what is that? Did your father come down to take food? That was the only unique way. I don't think there can be any other way. Because when Bhishmacharya offered that Pindadan, that time the father of Bhishmacharya's hand came out right like a muscular hand. And then Bhishmacharya asked the Purohitji there, Vyasji, should I give this Pinda on that? No. Pindadan has to be done only on the kusha grass. If you do this way, all other people will say, unless my dad takes out the hand, I will not give. Therefore, the tradition, the injunctions are extremely essential. We have to do only that way, no other way. So this person said, I have done the Shraddha in a unique manner. I said, tell me what is that unique manner? In the morning I came out, took out my car, and I was moving. And the first beggar I picked up on the road, put him in my car. You are surprised. I said, I am also surprised. And then I took him to a hotel, 5-star hotel. And I told the bearer, bring anything that he wants. And then he ordered the legs and the heads and the tongues and every kind of living and dead beings. And he had his nice feast. And after that, I paid the bill. I said, okay, thank you, enjoy yourself. How do you like this Shraddha celebration? I said, when a son like yours is, he alone can imagine that after your father died, he can become only beggar. Please understand. Who told us to do the Shraddha? Scriptures. Now, how to do the Shraddha? Who will decide? The Scriptures, not we ourselves. See? And there are many detailed things in that. When we are told that you have to do the Shraddha and respect and revere your dead parents, what does it mean? It means you must respect your living parents also. See how important it is. But ye Shastra Vidhi Musrija, they imagine they are extremely intelligent. And therefore, they can go the way they want. So, ye Shastra Vidhi Musrija, those who disrespect the scriptural authority, scriptural injunctions. That is why, friends, whenever we are following spiritual practice, don't go by the violence of spirituality. If you want shortcuts, you will be cut short. Never go by that path which is not approved by our scriptures, our Vedas, our Puranas and our Mahatmas. Those who promise you something in this world and other world, beware. Those who free you from the limitations of the relative existence and bless you with the absolute reality now and here, they alone are looking after our welfare. Therefore, ye Shastra Vidhi Musrija, there are many types of, people who are, like our Kathopanishad, Mundokopanishad says, Avidyayam antare vartamanaha svayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha dandramyamana pariyanti mudha andhenaiva niyamana yathandha. So, avidyayam antare vartamana. They themselves are abiding in the relative existence. Avidya means what? Accepting the relativity as the reality. That is ignorance. Relativity cannot be the reality. The virtual reality is different from the actual reality. All the sufferings are in the virtual reality. In the actual reality, there is no suffering. Take the common example which you all know. Man is never miserable. Husband is never happy. Man is actual reality. Husband is a virtual reality. Nobody is born husband. So to remain without becoming husband is a natural state. To get married and become husband is unnatural existence. And if the existence unnatural, you cannot be happy in that. Therefore, friends, it is extremely necessary that we have to accept the authority of the scriptures. No, we don't want. We have got faith in whatever we are following. Now, the another strength. The first strength was spoken of, the authority of the scriptures. Now, the second line. Second line is yajante shraddhayanvitaha. They are not following the scriptural injunctions well, but they have got tremendous faith. You must have read the news long time back. There were some, sects and groups, sampradaya, probably in Japan as well as in Italy or these places, where their chieftain has prompted and inspired the followers to commit a mass suicide. See? Now imagine those who are having this faith. If I kill somebody and kill myself, I will go to heaven. See the strength of that faith. We may all condemn terrorists, but if you stand apart and don't get involved emotionally, you will see that the commitment, the dedication, the faith of these people in whatever they are following, right or wrong is not our concern. Whatever they are following is unparalleled. So the strength of Shraddha, the faith, is so much. And you are telling that Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karyo Astitau. But the real strength for leading our life scientifically freedom. See, I have learned shooting. And I have become so expert that I can just take the gun, look at the target, and in a second I can shoot it. Very good. Now the question is, what for I use this faculty? Do I use this faculty to shoot exactly for my selfish purpose, for taking a revenge, or for settling an account, or for the protection of our country? For what I use this faculty? Therefore, there is always a tussle between these two powers. The power of the authority of the scriptures, power and authority of the faith. Now these two are the things before us. Those who are following the authority of the scriptures as the final strength of human existence. Then the question comes, what about faith? Now here when we are talking about Shastra, we are clearly mentioning Vedas and Puranas. Be very clear about it. Because Vedas and Puranas are addressed only to the human beings. They are not talking about any sect. This word Hinduism has come late. The whole Bhagavad Gita, there is nowhere one single word Hindu. But then we started making small groups. And then started fighting. See? Therefore, the basic principle, the Sanatana Dharma, based on the authority of the Vedas, wherein the prior existence, the present existence, and the posterior existence is the foundation of all the religions. And therefore, what the scriptures do is that they help us that, oh man, understand. Your life is not only between the two posts of a womb on one side and the tomb on other side. No, you have a more expansive existence beyond the present manifestation. And once we take this, on the basis of what? On the basis of scriptures. And then we have a different perception of the total scenario of life. This is what Bhagavan Sri Krishna started in second chapter. When Arjuna was complaining and justifying his withdrawal, that time Bhagavan Sri Krishna told Arjuna, look here. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidhananneva tatraka paridevana. You are crying for no reason. Everybody existed in another form before they took up this form. And when this form is destroyed, they will continue to exist in another form. Therefore, life is a continuous existence. It is not a discrete, broken existence. Who tells us this? The authority of the scriptures. And when you take the authority of the scriptures and have faith in the scriptures, then alone our life will be lived most scientifically. But instead of taking the guidance from the scriptures, we go behind somebody who is giving us the temptations. You come here, I will show you Atma. There was one friend of mine, he told me once, he said, Swamiji, I would like to tell you about your earlier lives. Because I know all my lives, what I was 7 lives earlier. I was here, I was there, I was in human form, I was in a man, I was in a woman form, then I was a parrot and all kinds of things. He said, I have that Siddhi, I can find out. I said, you may find out, but I don't want to know. So why? Suppose you tell me that I was a donkey in the last life. Do you think I'll accept? No. You know what happens? When the jiva becomes purer, he improves. Now our straight approach is, Ayam aham kutaha bhavati. Who is this jiva? Iti chinvataha. He who inquires. Ahi patatyaham. The jiva disappears. And there the truth is revealed. But those who are constantly holding on to this relative existence. If you do this thing, you will go in the preta yoni. If you do this thing, you will go in the hell or the heaven. How long can we go on inculcating fear and deception in the people? Under the disguise of fear, Shraddha, the faith. Please remember, these are the two powers. One, authority of the scripture. Second, faith in what spiritual path we are following. But the question is our spiritual path in line with the scriptural authority? If it is not, give it away. The other day, one boy came. I don't see him today. And he asked me one question. Swamiji, when we are sitting and chanting the Lord's name, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, that time the mind runs here and there. So what I should do? I said, you start running with the mind and start Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna. No, please help me. I said, look here, you know what you are doing? There is a bucket, 20 liters of water, and you have got a small child, 3-4 years. Now, you expect that child to lift that bucket, who is of the height of the bucket? In the same manner, find out what is the capacity of your mind. And slowly develop this capacity. Start chanting the Lord's name 10 times in a row without allowing any dissimilar intercepting thought. So see it quietly and do it slowly. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. No other thought. Then slowly develop. Very clear, scientific, perfect approach. Otherwise, you don't worry. You go on chanting. So you go on giving Ram, 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 Ram. And afterwards it becomes only a mechanical thing. Please remember, the real joy in life is not the result of mechanical existence. You must have seen many people, the government servants, they go to the office. The first thing that they do, order tea. The second thing that they do, they order tea. The third thing they do, they take tea. And then there's no charm. Somehow gone, somehow come back. And then, why not take VRS? So I'll get free money and lot of time. You had the whole life at your disposal. What did you do? Why this happens? Because life is lived mechanically. Be attentive. When your spiritual practice becomes mechanical, you lose the charm and joy of leading your life beautifully. Thereafter, we simply carry the load on our mind. See? I came across one young boy from Delhi in Australia, Sydney. A very dynamic boy. He had his interior and all that. Very successful. He has worked with many leading newspapers. He's a great cartoonist. And he had a very big firm in Delhi. And everything was so well set. And he was hardly 22, 25 years of age. He decided. He said, what is this life? No challenges. There are half a dozen imported cars. The huge bungalow inherited from the parents. Business is well set. They have got all the good faculties. Now what? Get married and throughout life lead like a pig. Hey, I don't want this kind of life. He gave away everything. Migrated to Australia. Started from scratch. Took 3-4 years for him to prove his mettle. And slowly, now he is getting established. So when he came to meet me, somebody told me about him. I hugged him. I said, hey, you have got blood running in your veins. Not distilled water. Baap ka paisa. See, let us add life to every moment that we live in our life. Otherwise, life becomes a dull-witted existence. Therefore, friends, please remember, these two powers. Authority of the scriptures is the guiding star. Shraddha in the scriptural authority alone will take us in the right direction. But if this is the one which we follow, we are on the right path. One. Now, second options. Those who neither have the faith in the scriptures, nor they have faith in anything, such people are doomed for self-destruction. This is what in the last chapter it is said, Ya Shastra Vidhi Usrujya Vartate Kamakarataha Na Sa Siddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Paramgati. So those who are neither following the spiritual path nor having the faith in the scriptural authority, they are destined for destruction. Nothing to talk about them. Now there is a third option. Third option is, somehow or the other, whatever may be the reason, but there is no faith in the scriptures, or they are not following Shastra Vidhi, the technical details of the scriptural injunction, they are not following. However, their faith is unparalleled. Now tell us, O Lord, this is the situation. Faith we have, but we are not following the scriptural injunctions. Now who will win? The one who is taking the course of the scriptural injunction as the primary source of inspiration, or the one who is leading his or her life on the foundation of strong faith? Kindly tell me. You know, there is a saying where it is said, faith can move mountains. But that is incomplete saying. Faith can move mountains if the faith is stronger than the mountain. If we say faith can move mountain, and how is our faith? With the rolling sticks on our feet. So you push it and you go back. It has to be stronger than the mountain. So now these are the two options. Ye shastra vidhi ustrujya yachante sadhayanvita. Now the question is, Tesham nishtatuka Krishna satvamaho rajastamaha. So hey Krishna, kindly tell me, their foundation is based, this time is foundation. Their foundation is based on the sattva guna we have seen in the 14th chapter. Sattva guna means predominantly knowledge oriented lifestyle. Or rajastamaha, whether their foundation is based on the activity and the matter or the material world. Now these are the two qualities which were told in the last chapter. Daiva asura sampatti. Those who are predominantly sattvic, they are born with the divine dispositions. And those who are extremely dynamic and totally matter oriented, they are called as asuras. So who are the asuras? Asuras are people with dynamism leading to relativity. And who are the Daivi people? They are oriented for something higher than the mere material prosperity. So, between these two options, such a person who doesn't have the follow-up of the scriptural authority, but they have the faith, now such people's foundation, should we take it to be Daivi, the divine disposition, or the Asura, the materialistic disposition? Asura means materialistic. And materialism can survive only when the duality or the relativity is taken as real. All the desires can erupt only in the field of relativity. All the struggle is required only when we have accepted ourselves to be limited. When we have discovered our infinite status, which includes everything and rejects nothing, thereby coming to an experience of non-dual existence. Such an experience does not have the component of desire and struggle. And where the life is without desire and struggle, that bliss is beyond all understanding. So, O teacher, kindly tell us, what is the foundation of such people? Whether it is sattvic or it is asuri sampatti, sattvamaho rajastamaha. Now here, these three things, three kinds of mental dispositions I'll explain in short before we go ahead. See, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic means what? If you look at the world has got these three components. First is the component of inert matter. Second is the component of dynamism and activity. And third is the component of knowledge and understanding. Other than these three, there is no fourth factor in the relative existence. Now, when our life is mainly propelled towards this tamoguna or the matter alone, they will be living in utter duality and ultimately end up only in the matter. Such people earn a lot, but they can't even enjoy a bit. Whole life goes only in earning. The best example, if you want to see, go to the overdeveloped countries. They are so tense, they are so frustrated. Rat race. In that, who is the rat? I don't understand till now. Constantly leading a frustrated life. Why? Matter. Dollar. Now the second people. They are also living a very dynamic life. They just can't sit quiet. They want to do something or the other. And when they cannot do anything at home, they take to social service, so that they can destroy the society in a effective manner. House they have completed. Now let us go and destroy the society. And what we do in the social service, be very attentive. If I am the follower of Bhagavad Gita, what is the good that I can think about for the society? Everybody, Kerala, everybody must learn Bhagavad Gita. See? If I am a teetotaler, what will be my social service? Everybody should be drinking teetotally. Teetotaler. No? If I am a person who is a naturopathy faith, so what I will think? The world will become most beautiful if everybody follows naturopathy. Get up in the morning, don't have to brush teeth, because in naturopathy, teeth are not brushed. Then you go out in your garden and start grazing. Don't eat the cooked food. Why? Naturopathy says the 5 whites remove. The milk, the salt, the sugar, the maida and the rice. What about the hair? Make them black. And then I want everybody to follow naturopathy. Why? That is my social service. Please be attentive. Our social service is nothing but imposition of our views on the society. See? Just take an example. This is just an example for you to understand. Suppose I am a highly spiritual person. Start my day riding a horse. White horse, black horse, whichever I get. Now what is the type of service I will expect from you? And what is the type of service you will like to extend? Swamiji, I can take you to AA and I will help you. Oh, thank you so much. You really want to help me? Yes. Don't take me to AA. Please bring me one black horse every day in the morning. That will be the real help. No, the real help is, you leave this. But I want to drink. Think. I know one person. He is, I think, no more. He died of cancer. He had this obsession. If you do not smoke, do not drink, do not have tobacco or any kind of gutka, don't eat non-vegetarian, lead a very simple and beautiful and pure life, and very pure life you live, and then you will live a healthy, good life. And on that he has collected a lot of information, compiled a huge book. And before the book was ready to be sent to the press, he developed cancer. And after he developed cancer, he took that book, torn it away. He said, in my whole life, Swamiji, I have never smoked, I have never taken any alcohol, anything. Why did I get this cancer? I said, therefore, think. Our imagination of doing good to others, Rajoguna, is only to establish that I have a concern for the world. And what is the concern for the world? Improve the world. Think. Bhagavan told us, Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. In this world we are for our improvement. We have to graduate from the body identification to the soul identification, and from the soul identification to the absolute reality. That is the purpose we are in this world for. But instead of that, these people who are oriented with lot of activities, they themselves cannot keep quiet, and when they see somebody sitting quiet, they become more agitated. Now, there is a third kind of aspect in this world, and that is knowledge oriented. And in this knowledge orientation, one is no more interested or attracted in the worldly affairs or the activities. His inquiry is what this world is. Who am I? Am I born as a result of the passions of my parents? Am I growing because the calendar leaves are flying away? Am I going to die because it is a formality? What this life is all about? He is no more interested in any of the worldly achievements or the activities. His concern is, who am I? Now, these are the three possible approaches to life. Now, the first approach that we discuss, for those for whom only wealth, prosperity alone is everything, they become prosperously miserable or miserably prosperous. Those who are all the time spending their whole life in doing something, such workaholics, if they have to sit quiet by God's grace. Just before I came here, I was sitting with our trustees. I received a phone from Punjab. Swamiji, तुसी कैसे हो? सानू एक problem है, तुसी दसो. I said, all right. What is the problem? His problem is, Swamiji, I have been doing everything very well. Suddenly, one morning when I got up, my right leg stopped functioning. I can't move that. And then I went to the doctor. Doctor said, we don't know. So, next day, the second leg got. Now, what can I do? I cannot walk. I cannot go here and there. Swamiji, how my life will continue? Please bless me. See? Those who are workaholics, if they have to remain without doing anything, they start eating nails. First theirs, then the neighbor. So much agitations. So, these are the three kinds of foundations on which Nishtha means foundation. So, these are the three foundations on which the life is lived. Now, understand Arjuna's question in the light of this understanding. Those who are not following the scriptural injunctions, but those who have got tremendous faith. Now, what is their foundation of life? Whether It is sattvic, knowledge oriented, divinity oriented, realization oriented, spirituality oriented, or dynamism oriented, or only matter oriented. Kindly tell me this. So, Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha. The last two, Arjuna has brought them together. Rajastamas together constitute the material existence and a relative existence. And Sattva is a technique by which you remain in the relativity, but you take off from the relativity to ultimately end up in the absolute. So, O teacher, kindly tell me their foundation of life. In reply to this, Bhagavad Sri Krishna addresses Sri Bhagavan Vacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu. Hey Arjun, listen. Every one of us have faith one way or the other. There is nobody in this world who is without faith. It is something like this. I don't have faith in scriptures. Okay. I don't have faith in the Mahatmas. Okay. Then how do you conduct yourself? I live on intuitions. The other day, one lady told me, Swamiji, these days I have started living on intuitions. Now what is the next step in spirituality? I said, now you take B complex, calcium, and you'll be alright. So, what is this faith? We may not have faith in the scriptures. We may not have faith in the saints and sages. We may not have faith in the God. We need not have faith in the government. But we definitely have faith in our own understanding. Isn't it? I think I should go and buy this sari. It is extremely less expensive. See, original price 25,000, now only 2,000. I think I am going to save a lot of money. Now, who told you this? I have faith. Whenever I have gone for shopping, I have always earned. Think. Therefore, here Bhagavad Sri Krishna tells, faith is of three types. Which are those three types? Sattviki, on the foundation of the knowledge, wisdom and spiritual inclinations. Second, Rajasi, on the foundation of the dynamism, activity and uncontrolled participation in the worldly affairs. And third, Tamasi, involvement only in the matter and laziness and indulgence. Now these three kinds of faiths are Swabhavaja. Now here there is one more important topic. See, you must have seen, I had a friend somewhere in UP, probably in Allahabad or Kanpur somewhere. I was staying with him for 4 or 5 days. In the morning when we used to go for our meditation class, he used to take a little detour and he used to tell me, Swamiji, please don't mind, it will take 5 minutes more. But this is my rule, every day before I go for anything, I go to one Hanumanji temple. I said, all right. So he said, you please be seated here. So I used to sit there. He used to go and say hello to Hanumanji and come back, then we'll go. One day he said, Swamiji, don't you like to come and take darshan? I said, you told me to sit here, so I am obeying. He said, no, you come. And when we went, there was no temple. There was somebody's house, and on that house there was a stone fixed. And on that stone there was some kind of vague image of Hanumanji. No pujari, no nothing. And then he told me, Swamiji, I didn't tell you to come only because here there is nothing like temple. But I don't know why. I have got tremendous faith in this Hanumanji only. I don't go to the other big Hanumanji temple. My Hanumanji is in this wall, crucified. He is my Hanumanji. So, where from this faith has come in him? So that faith which is inherited by us from our last lifestyle is called as Swabhavaja. Ja means born. Like Pankaja or Pankaja. Panka means the mud, clay. Pankaja, born in the clay, the lotus. Swabhavaja. This faith is inherited by us from our own last life, not from our parents, please. This is one, Swabhavaja. Now there is another way. This is the most strong aspect of our faith. Now there is another aspect of the faith. We start developing faith when we are exposed to something right from our childhood. Like you must have seen, our children when they go to the convent schools, they develop a faith. Because they see their teachers always doing like this thing. So, one day one person asked me, Swamiji, what is the meaning of this thing? I said, मैंने सब किया, क्या करना है कर लो. Because I don't know. When you ask any kind of questions, I reply in the same manner. What can I do? Then slowly, their prayers also become like that. If you go to Bengal area, then you will see, the youngsters and all that, how they do prayer. When they are crossing in a temple. Now, where from this technique of prayer has come, God knows. They will make this particular, mudra. And first of all, they'll put on their lips, bring it to the heart, bring it to the head, and hell with it. So when we see everybody doing, we start doing that. And that becomes our faith, that this is the only way prayers can be offered. If you go to the South India, anywhere, Dharal Sashtanga Pranipad, whether somebody is disturbed, somebody is kicked, and the person whom you do namaskar is going to fall down, doesn't matter. Sashtanga. If you go to Punjab, in Punjab, best namaskar. They only threaten you. Threaten with namaskar. That's it. They will not bend, they will not do anything. At the most, they will come and tickle you on your knees. Why my brain is not here? Oh, he thought it is. Punjabis have brain here, They touch only this thing. And this is how we slowly develop faith because of our association in a particular environment. See? So first faith is Swabhavaja. And all others are only acquired one. Acquired faith does not have real impact on our lifestyle. The real impact on our lifestyle is that of Swabhavaja faith. How? There is one girl, a German girl, who is with me for last many years. And such a peculiar thing. She is more at home in India than in Germany. The other day we went there for our lectures. So I used to talk in English, she should translate in German. And then after our tour and everything we came back. And when we came back, got down from the aeroplane, we were walking through. And those, night watchmen or the cleaners, sweepers at 2 o'clock when we came. So when they came, hello, namaskar, chamatkar, somebody did namaskar to me and all that. With a smile, we are coming out. Swamiji, I feel I have come home. I was suffocated in that Western world. She is 100% Western, born out of Western parents. But Swabhavaja, she is more at home under Indian culture. Now we have found it has come. Think. And therefore, Bhagwan says that there are 3 kinds of dispositions, there are 3 kinds of foundations on the basis of which our course of life is determined. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Now, next step, before we go to the next verse, very important topic, I'll leave half. Like serial. They will bring you to a point. And then tomorrow's episode. What happened to Prerna? Wait, kal tomorrow. See tomorrow, not today. Then you wait till tomorrow or tomorrow. Similarly, I'll bring you to a climax and leave you. See, we have got 2 aspects. One is called as Swarupa. Swarupa means our essential nature. Second is Swabhava. Swabhava is what? Accumulation of impressions over time, creating a temporary nature in us. Essentially, we are all divine. But according to our Swabhava, some of us are knowledge oriented, some of us are activity oriented, some of us are the matter oriented. Now, what is the spiritual life? What is the scientific approach to the spiritual life? Changing our Swabhava in such a manner that we are able to allow the divine essence in us to surface in and through all activities of life. That is the purpose. And therefore, in this chapter, this Swabhava is taken for discussion. And once we understand that Swabhava has to be changed, meaning if we are matter oriented, get out of it and go into activity oriented. If you are lost in activity oriented, get out of it and get knowledge oriented. And if you are lost in knowledge orientation, don't remain satisfied only by erudition and scholarship, but go beyond that and get established in the experience. These are the stages through which every one of us have to go. So this scheme of changing the influence of Swabhava on the essence that we are is the scheme of scientific living. How do we do that? And what is the approach? This is the subject matter which will be dealt with in the next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.